Good morning, Big Brother fans. It is Thursday, July 28th, day 23 in the Big Brother house, I believe, if I'm doing my math right. I don't have a whole lot for today, just because not a whole lot's changed since yesterday. We had the TV show last night where we did get to see the blow-ups that happened, the confrontation that happened. So we can talk about that. But as far as what's going on in the house, we're just on track to evict Amira. The vote count could be a little bit unsure. It could be 65. It could be 7-4. We're just not sure. The leftovers alliance is doing a very. They're really trying to keep things confusing so that the other house guests won't figure out that there is an alliance. And there's talk about sympathy votes and things like that. And I don't know if they're trying to make it so that it's after the vote, they're like, well, wait a minute, who voted how? Wait, you guys, extra people voted for sympathy and too many people gave Terrence or gave a sympathy vote to keep Terrence. And that made it so that Amira left. It was a big accident. Sorry, Amira. Oops. I don't know. They're depending on sowing mistrust among the non-alliance members, the non-leftovers. But remember, Terrence is one of those people. Amira is another. Amira's going to be gone. Nicole and Daniel should be fairly tight with each other. They may doubt each other, but they're going to know how they voted. And then you have Nicole and Alyssa. Sorry, I'm trying to think here now. Nicole, Alyssa. I need to look at my cheat sheet. One millisecond here while I glance at it once I get to a place where I can actually glance at it. Alyssa, Indy, Nicole, Jasmine, that's it. So Alyssa, Indy, Nicole, and Jasmine. And of course Terrence. Those are the ones not in the vote. If they can all not trust each other, that also means, I guess they're not going to have a hard time getting rid of. It's basically the girls are all that's going to be left. Besides, it's going to be Daniel and girls that aren't in the alliance. That once with Amira gone, not that Amira is the same way as another woman. So, all the guys are in an alliance along with Taylor. And Terrence. Yeah, Terrence and Daniel are the two males that aren't in this alliance, and Brittany and Taylor are the two women that are in it. Okay. Anyways, so Amira's going to go tonight. Don't know what kind of power veto it's going to be. This TV show last night ended before the power veto ceremony. They decided to do a cliffhanger, which many of us are going like, yep, called it. Yeah, we all called it. We all know how this works with this show, and we knew that they would decide to, hold off. They may very well not. They're going to do. I won't be surprised if they. I won't be surprised either way. I won't be surprised if they do reveal a head of household at the end of tonight's show. I won't be surprised if they don't reveal a head of household at the end of tonight's show, because I want to, keep those non-feed watching TV only viewers in suspense until Sunday's show, especially after all the drama. And oh my gosh, how's this going to fall out? And if one of the leftovers gets head of households, that's going to pretty much say like, well, now they're in good shape for this week. But if we don't know who gets it, then it could be one of the non-leftovers, and what will happen then? So I could see them just holding off and not showing us Head of Household tonight. Of course, we'll know before the night's out who Head of Household is, but the TV viewers won't. The fallout should be interesting. People are hoping that the feeds come back immediately after the show and not after the West Coast airing. So they're hoping that the feeds come back on at 10 o'clock Eastern tonight, as opposed to 1 a.m. Eastern. That's our two kind of options that we're expecting. Unless there's another endurance kind of a competition, I don't know. Oh, speaking of endurance, speaking of the TV show and Jasmine. I mean, how much longer can Jasmine go without doing competitions? She's gonna wheel her way into the jury for sure. She's not trying to do anything on her foot, and I'm going to defer to the people that are physical therapists that are fans of Big Brother that say that she should be doing something at this point. If it's not broken, she should be doing some kind of therapy stuff to work it out. Otherwise, let's look at it this way. She's got some bruising in there. Bruising is blood that clotted. You have to break that up. You have to kind of work that out of your system and kind of get the joint going. And her just doing absolutely nothing on it is not going to help that healing process. I don't know. Whatever. I think she's using it as a crutch. And now she passed out during the competition. They show her passing out, and she's got nerves. She gets very nervous. She talked about it when she was head of household. It's just it's wild that she may not. I don't know. She can't do physical competitions. That's for sure. Except for the pie eating contest, I guess, was a physical competition. And she did win her obstacle course to get to the pie eating contest, right? So then she twisted her ankle. But I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see who wins, but I still think that leftovers are fairly safe tonight. No matter who wins, I think they'll manage to get whoever does win, unless it's Nicole or Daniel. Obviously, then Nicole and Daniel will both be safe. And those are the next two targets for the leftovers, Nicole and Daniel. So, if either of them wins head of household, that's going to create some problems for the leftover alliance, and they will have to work to get rid of Alyssa or Indy or Jasmine or Terrence. And we know they'll probably be going after Taylor because they still are not big Taylor fans. They have still complained about Taylor and wanted to target her even after the apology stuff that went on. So that's what I got, guys. I'm at a loss as far as what specifically to say, other than to just say, that's what's going on. We have to see what happens after Amira's eviction tonight. She will be kind of blindsided. I said semi-blindsided on Twitter yesterday because she's going to be nervous. They're going to try to reassure her, and then they're going to turn around and throw her out. And it's going to be fun to watch the reactions and the shock and the oh my gosh. But I just don't think. I think Amira, when she gets out, when she talks to Julie, she'll be like, yeah, I kind of thought things were a bit fishy and da-da-da-da-da-da. So we'll see how it goes. I will probably be watching live. It's hard telling. I had to go and install a sink last night. And so that's what I spent my entire night doing, removing an old stainless steel sink and putting in a new stainless steel sink. Good times. That was my whole evening because I am not a professional plumber, and so I take 10 times as long to do everything. But when I went to bed, it was working and it didn't seem to be leaking, so there is that. And with that, folks, I am going to sign off because, like I said, I just don't have a whole lot to cover that's new. I'll talk to you guys more tomorrow. I'm sure I'll have lots to talk about. There will be a lot more that will have gone on. We'll definitely have a new target in mind. We'll see how the Leftover Alliance survived. Last night's show, if you haven't watched it, it really is worth watching. Let's talk about last night's show for just a second, now that I said that. They did a good job of showing everything that Taylor was going through. I was not aware of. Well, we saw the Nicole retell of her crying, and they thought that maybe it was something about her mom. They did a good job of establishing that and showing that. So that was something that needed to be explained. I was not aware how hard Daniel. He just seems to want to find a reason to be angry, and he ran with it. And it wasn't a good look. Taylor was right night before last when she said, I don't think it's going to be a good look for you when they show this on TV. She was right. It was not a good look for Daniel at all. And he's going to be walking that one back for quite a while. I don't think he realizes it yet. I don't think it's really sunk in. I really think that he and Nicole have it in their mindset that they are right, and that Nicole is some kind of, negative energy when she really isn't. But again, I will go back to, and I know that of at least one former Big Brother house guest that is kind of defending their mental state. Not their actions per se. They're not defending their actions as much as they're saying, look, you don't understand how you can get to that place mentally in that house. It really screws with you. Your lack of information, you're just the pressure you're under. It can really mess with your head. And that's what they're trying to say. And I totally get that. And I think that's why there's a bit of a sympathy. I don't think they ever intended to be, the way they're being. I don't know why this person isn't going. It's a four-way stop. You need to go, dude. Oh, you can't turn left there. All right. No, he's not turning left. Sorry, traffic. Sorry. Yes, I'm now driving where there's lots of traffic and trying to sort my way through. So Daniel and Nicole, they're just mentally just not in the same page as other parts of the house, and it's just not a good look. It probably would be best for them to go. Otherwise, if they hang around, it's just going to get, as they keep butting heads against Taylor, it's just going to get worse. But that all being said, that means that one of them is going to win head of household, and that will throw a kink in the works for the leftovers. That's the TV show last night. Did they talk about? They didn't talk about have-nots really. They did announce them, but that's it. They announced have-nots. Have-nots ended last night for Indy and Alyssa, so that's done again until tonight at some point. That's it. That's what I got. The TV show is worth checking out again, just to understand what went on and see for yourself how hard Daniel went after Taylor on the show, or on Saturday. That was Saturday night, and then the Alliance. I did the Pound Alliance, the way they showed it. It didn't. It really kind of showed them as bringing the people into the. It didn't develop quite the way they showed it developing. I mean, there was talk about the Pound Alliance, and then they formed the Leftover Alliance. What they didn't show is how they brought in Michael and Brittany first, and then they all decided to bring in Taylor, and there was a lot of work to get Taylor up to the room, and they kind of didn't show that as well as maybe, or as near to the way that my perception of is how it went on. But it's okay. It was good enough for TV viewers, and it got her in the house. But I truly do think that even though they say she's a part of the Alliance, they still look at her as none of them individually are saying, "Ooh, I want to," want her to be my final two or one of my final three. they've all got other people higher up in their list. And even, I think it was Michael. Was it Michael or Kyle? Was listing off who they want to get to the finals with, and they only listed 2 other leftover members. So, their top 5 included Indy and I can't remember who else. Indy and maybe Alyssa? No, it wasn't. I don't know. But the point is, it didn't include a couple other leftover members. It was like, well, you're not bringing, or 3 other leftover members. Like, well, you're not wanting to bring your leftover members, so how strong is this alliance actually going to be when push comes to shove? So, anyways, with that, I am now parking, so I managed to, once again, say I'm done and then carry on my conversation for another 10 minutes. But you guys be well. Thanks for listening. Thanks to my patrons. And you have a good Thursday, and we'll talk tomorrow after this eviction and see how it all went. All right? Take care. Bye-bye.